I'm going to explode. I'm so excited. I was scrolling on the Waterstones app and I was like, oh my god. Literally can't get them out, they're so heavy. And you may ask why? No! It's like almost square, it's so big. This is like a cult classic of the fan fictions. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about the 25 books that I want to read in 2025. This is a right mixture of books that I already own and new releases that are coming out throughout the year. I've tried my best to split this into categories by genre. You'll see that I've got like 2 to 3 genres that I absolutely love and are pretty much the whole TBR, and I've got a few scattered elsewhere. Some of them I didn't really know how to categorize because I've not read them yet. So we'll see. First of all, let's just go into one of my favorite genres, and that's fantasy. Let me get it down. So there's a series here that I want to read for the box set on like Black Friday or something. And it's The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I think that's how you say it. Annoyingly, not too long ago, I got a little bit of a spoiler about this. So I'm low-key just waiting for my brain to forget that spoiler so I can then read this. I've heard such great things about these books. There's all 5. I've obviously heard so much about her. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like a Chinese war fantasy. I think I've got that right. It's meant to be amazing. And yeah, once my brain forgets that spoiler, I will be diving into this. And it fits just so nicely up there. I am low-key running out of space on these. I don't know if you can tell. A lot of them are like stacked, but oh well. That did take up 3 of the books of the 25 books. Next one is cult favorite. Literally can't get them out, they're so heavy. Oh. And that's the Fourth Wing series. Not including Fourth Wing because I have read Fourth Wing. I read that when it like came out and there was massive hype about it. I do have the like nice edition of it though. I read it on my Kindle originally. So I want to read Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. I haven't read these 2 yet. I've been wound up in other series, so I haven't gone to Iron Flame. But now this one's out, I'm feeling the urge to read these. Low-key might give Fourth Wing another reread to like refresh myself because it has been a while. These are chonkers of a book and I am excited about it. I don't really need to tell you much about it. You probably already know about it or you've read it. You might have already read Onyx Storm at this point. It came out 2 days ago, but yeah. So that's 2 more books. The next one, I think it's fantasy. When you look it up, it says fantasy in the genre list, but it is a little bit more of like a low-key fantasy compared to these other ones. And that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. This has been on my shelf for about a year and I've low-key just like not reached for it and not been in the like headspace to read it, or it's not been something that I've been thinking about. I want to read it this year. Anyone I've heard talk about it has loved it. I think maybe I don't reach for it because I normally read fantasy series and then like between them I read kind of like palette cleansers, whereas this is kind of like a fantasy but one book but not quite like easy like a palette cleanser. I don't know, but it's something I do know I want to reach for. So okay, this next one, I only saw about it a couple days ago because I was scrolling on the Waterstones app and I was like, oh my god. And that is Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. I want to say is how you say her name, username, I'm not sure. This comes out on the 30th of September. I think that it was like a year ago I saw on her Instagram or something that this was being published and I just kind of forgot because it was so long ago and I didn't see anything more about it. And then as soon as, oh my gosh, the blurb, it looks so good. If you don't know, Alchemized, I don't know if it's like a very, very similar story or how much is being changed. The author originally wrote Manacled, which is a Harry Potter fan fiction. If you haven't read fan fiction, you're probably laughing at me, but this is like a cult classic of the fan fictions and it was done so well, hence why it's getting traditionally published. I devoured that fan fiction. It was crazy. I kind of didn't realize how long it was and read it in a couple days, just literally on my phone. But I am so excited for it to be traditionally published. So excited. I think I'm going to pre-order it very soon. I can't believe it's so far away though. 30th of September just feels really far away. I don't know, because Manacled had like, it was basically like Harry Potter, but Harry Potter has died cross Handmaid's Tale. I don't know how much they're keeping in of either, especially the Handmaid's Tale stuff. I'm excited. 30th September, you won't see me. I'm gonna be so excited about this. Kind of linking in quite nicely. The next genre I'm gonna talk about is the dystopian post-apocalyptic kind of genres. This is something I love to watch on TV and I'm really trying to find good books like it. So first of all, similar to Alchemized in a way, I want to read Handmaid's Tale. I did get the physical copy of it. It's actually so tiny, I didn't really realise, but the text is quite small. Don't know if you can see that, but I've watched the TV series and it's so good. It's so good. And as well, my mum's been watching it, so every time I come downstairs I see it's on. It's such a good series and I really want to sit down and actually read this. But it is a very heavy book. If you've watched the series, you know. So it's one of them, I feel like I need to be in the right headspace to read this. It's not going to be super uplifting, but this is something that I really want to get to this year, especially with everything going on in the world. And I feel like this is a book that people keep trying to ban, I want to say. So I feel like I want to read it even more. Next one is a new release that I want to read, and that's Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I don't know if you can see here, I have my special edition Hunger Games books. I think this is just out of frame. I got the old school Hunger Games books. I think we got these a very long time ago, like these ones. They've got pages falling out. It's dusty. These books are very much loved and ruined. I love Hunger Games, honestly. It's such an amazing series. The films, like, they go all out for the films. It's amazing. And when I saw they were doing Haymitch's story, I was so excited. I was actually like, I literally said this to my boyfriend, I was like, I'm going to explode, I'm so excited. So this comes out on 18th of March and I'm so excited. That feels really soon now. It felt so far away when they first published it, but it feels really soon and I'm really excited. On the cards, haven't decided. Possible Hunger Games reread. Haven't read it again in like a very long time. Because obviously I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes when that came out, but I haven't reread The Hunger Games. Next book is a little bit different. Let me give some context to this one. I was going through a proper Walking Dead phase. I'm always in a Walking Dead phase. I love that TV show so much. Rick Grimes. What a lovely, complex character. Anyway, Walking Dead, love it. I wanted books like The Walking Dead and I was like crawling the internet looking for it, and it's so hard to find like good post-apocalyptic books. Like I read a couple and they just didn't hit like at all and I was really disappointed. So if anyone has any good like Walking Dead inspired books, please let me know, please. But this is one that when you look in the post-apocalyptic genre, people mention a lot, but I'm very intimidated by it. And you may ask why. Oh God, okay, I need to stand up to get this one. And you may ask why, because it's this big. It's The Stand by Stephen King. This, I really like can't show it to you. It's like almost square, it's so big. And it's so heavy. This is meant to be a really good post-apocalyptic book. It's just like something I've really put off, as you can imagine, because it's going to take me like a month to read. It seems like a bit of a different take, like it's low-key a bit fantasy. Didn't really know what section to put this in, but it says, first came the virus and then came the dreams. Yeah, that super flu wipes out over 99% of the world. Sort of thing I thought I'd be interested in. It's just so heavy, oh my God. How many pages is this? Oh yeah, and the writing's tiny as well. So this book is 1,206 pages. This is gonna be a monster when I get to it. It's something that has been looking at me for a while and I want to get to it. So Stephen King, The Stand. So the next section is quite a big one and it's romance. These will mostly be read by me in like the summer, probably. I'm very quick with romance books and I don't always buy them because I get through them so quickly unless I really love them. So I read a lot of them on like my Kindle and stuff. Otherwise, like, this whole shelf would just be full of romance books and I don't go back to them. I don't read them again or necessarily like show them off to people a lot because it's something I just consume so quickly. There's an author that I haven't tried yet that I really want to get to, and that's Abby Jimenez. Oh, I didn't do Spanish, can you tell? Abby Jimenez, pretty sure. And I want to read the Part of Your World series. So that's Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and Just for the Summer. I saw so many people talking about Just for the Summer to then realise that it's part of a series. So I do want to read it like how it's meant to be read and read the three. That is just, to me, seems like such a, when it starts getting nice weather outside, I don't know if you can tell, it's really dark in here because it's pissing down with rain outside and it's January. When summer comes, I'm gonna really give Abby Jimenez a go. Continuing on to some people's favourite authors, Emily Henry. I need to get to Funny Story. I've read all the others and she has Great Big Beautiful Life coming out in 24th of April. So they are two books that I also want to read in the summertime. I have Happy Place here. I think that's my favourite one from her. Think so. I really enjoyed that. But that's the only one I have a physical copy of. Really loved it. I do like Emily Henry. I do think her books can get a little bit samey sometimes. So that's why I did kind of a bit of a binge read of her last summer. And then I kind of stopped at Happy Place and didn't move on to Funny Story because I loved I'm getting these all wrong. I really loved Happy Place, and I wanted to then wait before I read Funny Story because I felt like it wasn't going to be fair, because I had read like back to back in like a week or so, like You and Me on Vacation, Book Lovers, what was the other one? Beach Read. I read them and Happy Place like really close together, and I really liked this one and didn't want to compare it too much against Funny Story. I wanted to give it a go, so I've left it for a little bit and I'll read them too. A new release that will probably also be a 7-1, Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, 4th of February. This is like a diver's swimmer's romance. I don't read every Ali Hazelwood book that comes out. I kind of pick and choose the ones that I think will interest me the most. This one I'm excited for. Like, it feels a little bit different. I haven't read something like that. Yeah, there's not much to say. Did I say it comes out 4th of February? I can't remember. But I probably won't read it then. I'll wait till summer. Next, a series that I want to finish and I absolutely loved, that I'm almost scared to continue with because of how much I loved the first 2 books. Still got the label on from the works. I read Binding and Keeping 13 so quickly. These are big books and I like absorbed that book basically, and they were so good. I literally cried reading it. No! Do you hate when that happens? When you're like picking the sticker off a book and it doesn't come off properly? Oh, okay, I'll come back to that. But the kind of next in the series is, which one comes first? Saving 6 and then Redeeming 6. So these are about like a different couple sort of it's her brother and his girlfriend. And I do think I'll be really interested by this story. I just kind of like been waiting again. I'm not sure what for. I didn't want to like read it straight after this because I wanted to space it out a bit because I loved it so much. But I probably will read them like together. That's what I've normally found, that ended on a cliffhanger. So this will probably end on a cliffhanger. And yeah, these are very much on my list. And Taming 7, like I haven't put it on this list. I may read it. I don't know if it's gonna have a part 2, if that's a plan. We'll see, because I may find like I read these and then I want a bit of a break from the series. Sometimes I get like that with books like this. Lastly from this section, which is a romance but is also kind of other genres as well, I'd say. It came up as like science fiction, fantasy, I was a bit not sure. And that's Ministry of Time by Kalian Bradley. I literally don't know how to say that. This got like really exploded in popularity really quickly and then no one talked about it for a while. I think this will be an interesting one. I hope it's not like, I get really similar vibes from it of Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow. Kind of like Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow. It took me forever to read. I got quite bored with it at some point. I found a lot of the characters annoying. But then it did quite pick up like 2/3 in and I like really forced myself to just finish it. But I really hope this won't be like that. Don't know why I get the same vibes, but they're very different books. I put it in the romance category. I'm pretty sure it's a romance. It's also a lot of other genres. It's like time travel. Excited about that one. Moving on to my next genre, and that's historical fiction. I don't think I've read any historical fiction in my life, and this is all the same author. I want to read some Kristin Hannah, and I want to read The Great Alone, The Four Winds, and The Nightingale. Hopefully I like her as an author, because I might not, but anyone I've seen talk about her loved her, so I'm assuming I probably will. I don't know what order I want to read these in. I'm quite drawn to The Great Alone. Like, I think that's a story I'd really like. Then maybe The Nightingale, then maybe The Four Winds. I might do a video reading these 3 books and like her as an author. Yeah, I'm really excited by them. I don't have the physical copy, even though they're like out and they're actually quite cheap, because I think the American copies just look so much nicer than the UK ones. So if we ever get the American style covers here, I think I'd buy them, but I really don't like the UK covers. So I'm sorry, Kristin Hannah, please update your covers. And then kind of moving on to my last genre, which is contemporary fiction, although this is a bit of a mishmash. First of all, I've put on here The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I put it in the contemporary fiction because when you look it up, it's meant to be like a loose autobiography, like sort of fiction, sort of not. I didn't really know where to put it, so I put it in this section. I have this gorgeous version, it's the illustrated version. It's stunning. I just need to read it. Like, I feel like this is gonna be an interesting book because I've obviously seen like the fig tree quote and it really resonated with me as a 23-year-old who currently doesn't know what to do with her life. I am very intrigued by this book and I've seen a lot of people online say they want to read it, but I haven't actually seen many people read it. So that's what I want to do. I want to read this, and I think this won't take me that long. The words are quite big. It's got pictures in it as well. Like, I'm just excited by this. I think it'll also be quite depressing. So next is a new release, and that's Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. That's due to come out on the 3rd of June. That is like, it's not a romance, I don't think, that's why it's in the contemporary section, but I don't know the exact storyline actually. I just know it's about astronauts, I want to say, or going to space or something along them lines. I just really like Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have two here. I loved Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Kind of enjoyed Daisy Jones and the Six. I didn't find the style as engaging, but I loved Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I want to read a little bit more of Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I don't really know which one to do next. And then when I saw this one came out, I was like, oh, that's my next one. I really want to read that one. For my final book, it's a little bit of a cheat because it's kind of like two books because I couldn't decide. So if you have a preference, let me know. And that's Frederick Backman, Anxious People or Beartown. I want to read him as an author. I don't know which one to start with. I've heard great things about both of the books. I don't know which one to go first. If you have preference, let me know. But apparently he does contemporary fiction really well. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Beartown. Apparently his books can be quite trigger heavy. Deals with a lot of sensitive topics. I'm okay reading stuff like that. So I haven't looked up any trigger warnings, but apparently if you are going to read some, do look up the trigger warnings. I find sometimes looking up trigger warnings for me spoils the book, so I don't, because normally I'm okay. And that's 25 books. If you have any books that you're going to read, maybe the same ones as me, maybe something different, maybe a new release that I haven't seen is coming out, please tell me. I'd love to know. I feel like I just look at this list and I'm just so excited by what I'm going to read this year. That's all from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.